China, like most countries, is dealing with an Omicron surge. But China, unlike most countries, is punishing its own people for its homemade virus. Let me show you some videos. They're believed to be from Tianjin, a city close to Beijing. Look at the massive crowd here. Reports say that these people have been without food for several days. They shouted that they were hungry. Instead of helping them, the government unleashed force on them. A large contingent of police was dispatched to crush the protest. This is what followed. In China today, violating COVID protocols is an unforgivable sin. Here's another video. A man was caught without a mask. Look at how he was dragged away by a cop. Right now, several Chinese provinces are reporting an outbreak. More locally transmitted infections are being detected every day. The Winter Games begin in less than 3 weeks from now. It's an important event for Beijing. China wanted to use this occasion to prove to the world how it had contained the virus and how it is now immune to the pandemic. But Omicron has punctured its propaganda bubble. And now there are new allegations of snooping. On Gravitas tonight, we'll tell you all about it. We'll start with the numbers as always. China's Wuhan virus data remains questionable. Last week, we showed you how China was using massive quarantine centers to contain the spread. They look just like detention centers. Now, even the data cannot hide the surge. As of 16th January, mainland China had more than 105,000 confirmed Wuhan virus cases. All of these patients are showing symptoms. More than 20 million people are under lockdown. There are 20 high-risk areas, 57 medium-risk areas, which means there is a high chance of infection in all of these districts. What is driving the new infections? The Omicron variant. It is spreading like wildfire. And these are not imported cases. A local health official has made an admission. He says Omicron has been spreading in China for 3 months now.
The Omicron strain has only been spreading for about 3 months. People's understanding of this new variant is not complete. We must waste no time in treating it. Don't be careless. It's not the same as the flu.
Omicron has now made its way to China's political, financial and technology centers. Local transmission has been detected in Tianjin, Dalian, Anyang, Shanghai, Shenzhen, Zhuhai, Zhongshan and now Beijing, the capital city of China. Omicron has breached the borders of Beijing. Lockdowns are being reimposed. How many cases are we talking about? 4. 4 cases. That's all that China has reported. Apparently, there are only 4 new cases in Beijing. 3 patients have tested positive for Omicron. The 4th one is positive for Delta. Now look at China's response. Why does Beijing need such sweeping measures to deal with 4 cases? An entire office has been locked down. The first patient who tested positive worked here. So local authorities locked up all the employees inside. They will be forced to live inside their office for several days now. Health officials were seen bringing pillows and bedding for them. And it's not just offices that are being sealed. Venues for the Winter Games are out of bounds for people. The sale of tickets to the general public has been banned. The Winter Olympic bubble has been fenced. The venue looks like a garrison. The bubble is spread across nearly 200 kilometers and the entire area has been fenced. Inside it, medical professionals conduct daily Wuhan virus tests. Those staying here will travel in police-escorted buses. Robots have been deployed to transfer food. It's a nice gimmick. But teams staying in this bubble are more worried about something else. Snooping. Several countries have issued advisories to their athletes. They've been asked to leave their phones at home and use burner devices instead. What are burner devices? These are basically cheap prepaid mobile phones for temporary use. They're to be discarded after use. Hence the name, burner phones. Why do athletes need these in China? Because they fear their phones could be compromised with malicious software. So each team is coming up with its own protocols against possible snooping attempts. The Australian team will have its own Wi-Fi for its players. Dutch athletes will use burner phones. They've been asked to destroy their devices once they return. Same with the Brits. Athletes will be given burner phones by the UK government. Canadian players have been asked to limit their personal information, the information they store on the devices which they bring to China. What is China's response to these fears? As always, Beijing remains dismissive.
We have taken note of the relevant reports, and the spokesperson of the Beijing Olympic Organizing Committee has also answered similar questions. The questions raised by certain countries about China's so-called cybersecurity are completely unfounded and an attempt to conjure up things from thin air.
So first, the stain of a genocide, then the threat of the Wuhan virus, and now fears of snooping by the Chinese state. If the Olympics had a match for controversy, China would have won the gold for sure. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.